I am not sorry for something I didn't do, and I am not sorry for the things I did do.
Mr. O'Neill,
All right.
Listen, stop.
All right.
Listen to me.
I'm not
You're not going to raise your voice again.
I'm not going to raise my voice again. I'm not.
I will have you removed from this court.
How does a seemingly ordinary family evening, filled with the comforting rituals of daily life, dissolve into a night of unimaginable horror? How does the warmth of a home, a sanctuary meant for love and security, become the stage for a tragedy that defies the very essence of humanity? This is the haunting question at the heart of a story that has left an indelible mark on all who have come to know its chilling details. In the serene neighborhood of Riverview, Florida, where families often find solace in the predictability of suburban life, a strange shadow loomed one March evening in 2018. It was a night that would forever alter the lives of those involved and ripple through the community with a shockwave of grief and disbelief. At the center of this storm stands Ronnie O'Neill III, a figure whose actions would unravel the fabric of a family and challenge the very foundations of our understanding of compassion and cruelty. The victims, Kenyatta Barron and her young daughter, Ron Nivea, were more than just tragic figures in a courtroom drama. They were a mother and child caught in a vortex of violence, their lives cut tragically short by an act of unfathomable brutality. Kenyatta, a devoted mother whose dreams and aspirations were intertwined with her children's futures, and Ron Nivea, a 9-year-old girl with special needs whose innocence was met with unspeakable horror, now symbolize a profound and heartbreaking loss. As we embark on this journey into the depths of one of the most disturbing cases in recent memory, we aim to uncover not only the facts but the emotional and legal complexities that surround this dark chapter. What drove Ronnie O'Neill to commit such acts of violence against those he should have protected? What truths lie buried beneath the chaos of that fateful night? And what can we, as a society, learn from this harrowing tale of betrayal and loss? Join us as we delve into the intricacies of this case, exploring the corridors of justice, the complexities of the human psyche, and the enduring quest for answers in the wake of unimaginable tragedy. This is not merely a story of crime and punishment, it is a search for understanding, empathy, and perhaps a glimmer of hope amidst the shadows. Welcome to True Crime Tales HQ. I sincerely thank you, my esteemed viewers, most especially my subscribers, for your endless support. At True Crime Tales HQ we share true told and untold crime stories. Please don't forget to subscribe if you are yet to subscribe to this channel. In the story of life, every person weaves their own unique tale, and Kenyatta Barron's story was stitched with love, strength, and a deep commitment to her children. Kenyatta wasn't just a mother, she was like a guiding light, always ready to support and care for those around her. People who knew her often spoke about her smile, which could brighten even the darkest days. Her way of living was filled with kindness and warmth, leaving a lasting impression on everyone she encountered. Kenyatta's dreams were both simple and meaningful. She wanted her children to have a life full of happiness and possibilities. Her role as a mother was more than just a duty, it was her passion. She embraced it with a joyful heart and open arms. No matter what challenges or successes came her way, Kenyatta's love for her children was unwavering, leading her through every moment. One of her beloved children was Ron Nivea O'Neill, a 9-year-old girl who had a spirit full of brightness and energy. Ron Nivea was born with special needs, and although the world sometimes seemed to place hurdles in her path, she faced them with courage and resilience. Thanks to her mother's constant support, Ron Nivea met each challenge with a brave smile. Her laughter was pure and infectious, echoing through their home and showcasing the joy and innocence she carried with her. Ron Nivea's life was about overcoming obstacles, and each day brought small victories that spoke volumes about her strength. Her relationship with her family, especially her mother, was deep and strong. Together, they walked a path filled with love and understanding, cherishing the beauty in every shared moment. The Barron family lived at the heart of their community, a symbol of togetherness and strength. Their home was a place of warmth and joy, reflecting the love that connected them. Neighbors remember them as a family who was engaged and well-loved, always ready to participate in community events and form bonds that went beyond mere friendliness. Before the tragic events unfolded, life for Kenyatta and her children was made up of everyday moments, school days, family meals, and dreams shared under the night sky. It was a life defined by the simple pleasures and challenges that come with being human, a life that was unknowingly on the edge of a profound and irreversible change. As we explore this story further, we hold these cherished memories close, honoring the love and light that Kenyatta and Ron brought into the world. Though their story has shadows of tragedy, it also highlights the lasting power of love and the deep impact one person's life can have on many others. This is a story of love, resilience, and the enduring connections that define us all. To understand the complex story of Ronnie O'Neal III, we must take a closer look at his past, exploring the details of his life that might have led to the tragic events we are unraveling today. Ronnie's journey begins in a world filled with challenges and experiences that shaped the man he would become. Born into a family that faced its own set of difficulties, Ronnie grew up in an environment that was far from stable. His childhood, marked by various trials, set the stage for a life that would later spiral into darkness. As a young boy, Ronnie experienced a home life that was often turbulent. The stability that many children take for granted was not always present for him. Family dynamics were complex, and the support systems that could have provided guidance were sometimes lacking. These early years are crucial in understanding how Ronnie's character was formed. Growing up, he encountered both care and neglect, moments of kindness overshadowed by periods of uncertainty and hardship. School life, too, was a mixed experience for Ronnie. While he had the potential and intelligence to excel, his academic journey was inconsistent. Teachers and peers might recall moments when Ronnie showed promise, yet there were also times when he struggled to fit in, when his behavior set him apart. These social challenges likely contributed to a growing sense of isolation and frustration during his formative years, feelings that could linger and manifest in troubling ways later in life. Ronnie's personality developed under these circumstances, reflecting a blend of resilience and volatility. Those who knew him describe a man capable of charm and charisma, yet someone who could quickly become unpredictable and intense. Ronnie's character was layered and complex, with moods that could shift suddenly. These traits, combined with a growing inner turmoil, painted a picture of a man struggling to find his place in the world. As Ronnie transitioned into adulthood, the pressures of life only intensified. He faced difficulties that many might find overwhelming, grappling with responsibilities and expectations that sometimes felt insurmountable. Throughout this period, signs of mental health struggles began to surface. Ronnie exhibited behaviors that suggested deeper issues beneath the surface. Reports and evaluations pointed to possible mental health conditions, such as PTSD and delusional disorder, which affected his perception and actions. Experts who studied Ronnie's case emphasized these mental health challenges as significant factors in his life. These conditions, often untreated or inadequately addressed, can distort reality and influence behavior in profound ways. For Ronnie, these psychological struggles might have clouded his judgment, blurring the lines between right and wrong, reality and imagination. Through psychological evaluations, insights into Ronnie's mindset emerged. These assessments revealed a man caught in a web of confusion and fear, driven by perceptions that did not always align with reality. His motivations, though complex, seemed rooted in a distorted view of the world around him, a perspective shaped by past traumas and present stressors. As we piece together the story of Ronnie O'Neal III, we see a life marked by significant challenges and internal battles. It is a portrait of a man whose path diverged into tragedy, influenced by a combination of environmental factors, personality traits, and mental health issues. This understanding is vital as we seek to comprehend the events that unfolded, offering a glimpse into the mind of a man whose actions defied comprehension and whose story serves as a somber reminder of the complexities of the human psyche. The day was March 18, 2018, and it began like any other in the quiet neighborhood of Riverview, Florida. The sun rose, casting a golden glow over the suburban streets, where residents went about their daily routines, unaware of the darkness that would soon descend upon one of their own. It was a Sunday, typically a day for family gatherings, rest, and reflection. But for Kenyatta Barron and her children, the day would spiral into a nightmare that no one could have foreseen. As the day unfolded, there were few indications of the storm brewing beneath the surface. Neighbors later recalled seeing Kenyatta and her children engaging in their usual activities, with nothing amiss to suggest the violence that was about to erupt. Ronnie O'Neill III, Kenyatta's partner, was present at the home. According to accounts pieced together from various sources, tension simmered beneath the veneer of normalcy. There were arguments and disagreements, but such conflicts were not uncommon in the household. As daylight faded and evening approached, the atmosphere in the Barron home grew increasingly volatile. Witnesses reported hearing raised voices, the sounds of a domestic dispute escalating beyond control. It was during these tense moments that the horror of the night began to unfold. What started as an argument soon turned into a scene of chaos and terror. The details of the crime are harrowing, a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the depths to which human behavior can plunge. Ronnie O'Neill III, in a fit of rage and delusion, unleashed a brutal attack on his family. The exact sequence of events remains a puzzle of fear and turmoil, but what is known is that Kenyatta Barron fought desperately to protect her children. Her cries for help echoed through the night, a haunting sound that neighbors would later recount with horror. Ron Nivea, the innocent 9-year-old girl with special needs, was caught in the crossfire of this unimaginable violence. Her vulnerability, which in any other circumstance would have evoked protection and care, became a tragic element of the night's events. The methodical cruelty of the attack left the small community in shock, unable to comprehend how such brutality could occur within the confines of a family home. As the night wore on, the crime came to the attention of law enforcement through a chilling 911 call. Kenyatta herself, injured and desperate, managed to convey the terror unfolding in her home. The call was a lifeline, a plea for intervention as darkness threatened to consume all hope. When officers arrived at the scene, they were met with a tableau of devastation that would linger in their memories long after they left. The immediate aftermath of the crime was marked by confusion and disbelief. News of the tragedy spread quickly through the community, leaving neighbors and friends grappling with a mix of shock and sorrow. The realization that such violence could erupt in their midst shattered the sense of safety that many had taken for granted. Law enforcement, too, was faced with the daunting task of piecing together the events of that night, trying to understand the motivations behind such senseless acts. In the days that followed, the community rallied together, driven by a need to support one another in the face of such profound loss. Vigils were held, and prayers were offered, as people sought to find some semblance of peace amidst the chaos. The crime had left a scar not only on those directly involved but on everyone who heard its echoes. As we delve deeper into this narrative, we are reminded of the unpredictable nature of human behavior and the thin line between love and violence. The story of that night in Riverview is not just a tale of crime, it is a reflection of the complexities of the human heart and the fragile bonds that tie us together. It invites us to question, to reflect, and to seek understanding in a world where darkness and light coexist. In the quiet suburb of Riverview, Florida, a night of horror would soon unravel into an investigation that tested the limits of law enforcement's resolve and expertise. The emergency call had come in the dead of night, a desperate plea for help from a voice drenched in terror. As first responders converged on the scene, the gravity of what awaited them began to unfold. The police arrived swiftly, their sirens slicing through the stillness of the night. Officers were immediately confronted with a scene of chaos and destruction, the aftermath of a brutal rampage. Their first task was to secure the area, ensuring that any potential threats were neutralized and that the integrity of the crime scene was maintained. With methodical precision, crime scene tape was unfurled, marking the boundaries of a place forever altered by violence. Inside the home, investigators moved with a meticulousness born of experience, knowing that every detail could be a crucial piece of the puzzle. The air was thick with the acrid smell of smoke, a testament to the fire that had ravaged parts of the house. Amidst the charred remains, forensic teams began their painstaking work. They meticulously catalogued evidence, from the remnants of weapons to the bloodstains that told their own story of the night's events. Central to the investigation were the testimonies of those who had witnessed the horror firsthand. Among these voices, the most poignant was that of Ronnie O'Neill's surviving son, a young boy thrust into a nightmare from which he narrowly escaped. His testimony was a tapestry of courage and tragedy, offering insights that only an eyewitness could provide. Despite the trauma, he recounted the events with a clarity that underscored the terror of that night. His words painted a vivid picture of a father transformed into a figure of unimaginable fear, a narrative that aligned with the physical evidence collected by forensic experts. The investigation was propelled forward by several pivotal breakthroughs. One such moment came with the analysis of the 911 call made by Kenyatta Barron, O'Neill's girlfriend. This recording, a haunting chronicle of the attack, provided a timeline of events and captured the chilling reality of the violence that unfolded. It was a piece of evidence that corroborated the young boy's testimony, adding weight to the narrative of brutality. Another significant discovery was the forensic examination of the fire's origin. Investigators determined that the blaze was deliberately set, a calculated act intended to destroy evidence and lives alike. This finding not only established intent but also framed the sequence of actions that culminated in that night's devastation. The investigation was a testament to the dedication and expertise of law enforcement, an unwavering pursuit of truth in the face of unspeakable tragedy. It illuminated the darkest corners of human behavior while seeking justice for those whose lives were irrevocably changed. As the pieces fell into place, the narrative that emerged was one of horror and heartbreak, but also one of resilience and the relentless quest for justice. As the investigation wrapped up, law enforcement had gathered enough evidence to arrest Ronnie O'Neill III. The charges against him were severe: 2 counts of first-degree murder for the deaths of his girlfriend, Kenyatta Barron, and their daughter, Ron Nivea, and attempted first-degree murder for attacking his son. These charges were a reflection of the horrific nature of the crime that shocked the community to its core. The legal process that followed was just as dramatic as the events leading up to it. Ronnie O'Neill made the unusual and controversial decision to represent himself in court. This choice raised many eyebrows and added a layer of unpredictability to the proceedings. Was this a strategic move, or a sign of deeper issues? It was a question that lingered in the minds of many. In the courtroom, O'Neill's self-representation led to some intense and unforgettable moments. He passionately argued his case, often raising his voice as he did during his opening statements. O'Neill claimed that law enforcement had tampered with evidence to frame him, a bold accusation that he hoped would cast doubt on the prosecution's case. On the other side, the prosecution laid out a detailed and compelling narrative, supported by forensic evidence and the emotional testimony of O'Neill's surviving son. They argued that the evidence clearly pointed to O'Neill as the sole perpetrator of these horrific acts. One of the most gripping moments came when O'Neill cross-examined his own son, who bravely testified about the night of the attack. The emotional weight of this interaction was palpable, leaving many in the courtroom questioning the ethics and emotional impact of such a confrontation. After days of intense deliberation and emotional testimonies, the jury reached a verdict. Ronnie O'Neill was found guilty on all counts. The decision brought some measure of closure to the victims' families and the community, affirming the diligent work of the investigators and prosecutors. The judge, in delivering the sentence, did not hold back on expressing the gravity of O'Neill's actions. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, along with additional penalties for arson and child abuse. As we reflect on this intense legal drama, we are left with questions about the justice system and the choices made within it. Should defendants be allowed to represent themselves in such serious cases? Does this serve justice, or does it create more complications? These are questions that invite viewers to ponder and share their thoughts. If you find this story compelling, we encourage you to like and share this video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more stories. Let's keep the conversation going. The aftermath of the Ronnie O'Neal case left deep scars on the victim's family and rippled through the broader community, altering lives and prompting reflection. The surviving son, who endured unimaginable trauma, faced a long and challenging journey of healing. His resilience became a focal point of community support, as neighbors and strangers alike rallied to provide comfort and resources. The loss of his mother and sister, combined with his own narrow escape, left an indelible mark on his young life. For the community, the crime shattered a sense of safety and trust. It was a stark reminder of the potential for violence in places considered safe and familiar. Vigils and memorials became spaces for communal grieving, allowing people to come together in solidarity and support. Beyond the immediate emotional impact, this case sparked broader societal debates, particularly around mental health and the justice system. There was increased discussion on the importance of mental health awareness and early intervention, with calls for better support systems to prevent such tragedies. The case also highlighted the complexities of allowing defendants to represent themselves, raising questions about the balance between legal rights and the effective pursuit of justice. These societal reflections invite us to think deeply about our collective responsibility in addressing mental health issues and ensuring our justice system is equipped to handle such challenging cases. What steps can we take to improve mental health support and legal processes to prevent future tragedies? Share your thoughts in the comments below and join the conversation. The Ronnie O'Neal case serves as a profound reminder of the broader societal and personal lessons we must embrace. It underscores the critical importance of mental health awareness, urging us to recognize and act upon the early signs of distress in ourselves and others. Community vigilance becomes paramount, as we collectively hold the responsibility to support and protect those around us. Furthermore, this case highlights the ongoing need for justice that is both swift and compassionate. We must advocate for a legal system that balances accountability with understanding. Preventing similar tragedies requires a concerted effort to improve mental health resources and education, ensuring that individuals have access to the help they need before it's too late. Let this case inspire us to work towards a society where empathy and proactive support are at the forefront, reducing the likelihood of such devastating events in the future. As we conclude this journey through one of the most harrowing cases in recent memory, we're reminded of the fragility and preciousness of life. This story is not just about tragedy but also about the call to action it inspires within each of us. We have the power to turn this tale of sorrow into a catalyst for change and healing. Let's honor the memories of those lost by supporting victims' families, offering them strength and solidarity as they navigate their grief. Your involvement, whether through community actions or personal gestures of kindness, can provide the comfort and support they need. Moreover, let us become advocates for mental health resources. By encouraging open conversations and supporting initiatives that prioritize mental well-being, we can help build a society where individuals feel safe to seek help without stigma or fear. Together, we can prevent future tragedies by fostering a culture of empathy and vigilance. If this story has moved you, please like and share this video to raise awareness and spark meaningful discussions. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more stories that challenge, inform, and inspire. Let's keep this important conversation going and work towards a brighter, more compassionate future.